5 seconds remaining.
The Dire get a ban.
Radiant's turn to ban.
Dire's ban now.
Here's the Radiant ban.
Dire's ban
Here's
now.
the Radiant ban.
Welcome back, folks. Team Liquid versus Nigma, game number 2, and in some ways you kind of wish that the game was almost as swift as that intro from the Star Ladder little splash screen. Definitely for my throat, but definitely not for the hype, because this game was very back and forth. This is what we like to see, actually. Let's be honest, right? If we're gonna have a long game, we don't just want to see one team huddled up in their base. They pick Tinker, and they'll pick Sniper, and they'll pick Techies, and they'll just sit there for too many hours. We've all had those games, right? We want a back and forth game, right? This is like watching a fine ass game of tennis between two of the world's best, just smashing it back and forth. Now I know you guys will be like, oh wow, yeah, are these two of the world's best? Well, they done, you know, they do reasonably well, even still. And obviously the minor qualifiers were very stacked, hence why we find ourselves with a very minor qualifier stacked from the major one after from before. And yet we are still seeing a matched caliber of skill from both sides, because game 1, it could have went either way. And Team Liquid, they are one game up, but I don't feel like we're necessarily going to see a draft dominance from either side. I feel like we're going to get 2 drafts that have their own merits, their own abilities to win the game.
5 seconds remaining.
No cheese picks, right? We don't want to see any of these brutes, these meepos, final pick. We just want to see some Dota. And we're going to open up with a classic, all right? One of my favorites of all times to see. The Shake is going to come out again, but this time it's going to be in the hands of Nigma. Now, will there be the response comparative? No, because that ain't how insane you draft this. Oh no, he's going to open up with the Grimstroke and the Void Spirit. That's right, it is Void Spirit and his long lost cousin. They usually sit there braiding each other's hair late at night. And Grimstroke, interested to see the way they open this up, because we kind of become accustomed to this idea of the big combo, right? Whenever you see the Void, the Grimstroke, rather, you're like, ah, man, yeah, where's the Doom, right? Or, oh, where's the Lich Shamefrost? There is still obviously room for something along the lines of the Lich, but I think the best way that I ever see Grimstrokes drafted is where the Soulbind is utilized primarily as a counterpick to certain heroes such as Pangolier, or where it's just a complementary factor of the draft that happens afterwards. It feels really rough when you draft around a support pick, and I think the thing that we saw teams, especially when this hero was first introduced, do was they would draft around the support pick and it would seem very strong, and then you'd still be sitting there and going, why did we lose? It's because the reality is, like, winning Doa, big chunk of it comes down to ease of execution. It's the reason that while, like, people have been theory crafting things like the Dark Seer vacuum with Song interaction now, and Static Storm is great, right? Because they made it so you can vacuum now in the Song, all of a sudden that combo actually is feasible and quite powerful because it's accessible. So I think if they're going to go for this Grimstroke pick, I'd like within the second phase, I'd like to see someone that just kind of like fits in. It doesn't go over the top. I like Grimstroke Void Spirit already because you have the means to get on top of someone and do a lot of damage with the Inkswell combo. I do like the fact that Nigma, they're keeping the cards kind of close to their chest with the puck. You can't be certain of where this hero is going to go. That is the beauty of it right now. It's still one of the most flexible heroes, and it gives you tempo. And last game, if you remember, that was actually banned out, I believe it was by Liquid, after they picked the Void Spirit, as it is one of the better ways to deal with him early on anyway, especially in the laner phase. Mainly because most of your damage coming out is magical, and you keep range. Obviously, you're a ranged hero against this with high physical, so you can get through his pulse to a degree. And you just farm quicker. That's the difference, right? Like, if you're going to run Void Spirit in the mid, he farms okay, but the reality is heroes is we're going to fall behind the likes of Shadow Fiend, Puck, He does that trade so that he can be more
Dire
active
get a
across the map.
ban.
Here's the Radiant ban.
On the bans right now, so the Timber is going to be removed by Nigma. Probably the fact that they're going to go for more strength-based heroes. Plus, Boxy did cause a lot of havoc for them. Invalidated a fair amount of their draft for a lot of that game. Miracle especially did not have a good time on that Razor when he was laying up against the Timber.
5 seconds remaining.
Also, it just is a good hero to pick up against if you worry about the shaker factor, right? Because you can always escape. So it's just an obvious hero, especially when you consider you just got beaten by it. It's one of those type of heroes that's fresh on your mind. And if you're looking at shaker, you're thinking, how do we like maximize the kill potential of this hero? As they've already got one hero that we can't really gank with the shaker, which is going to be that voice hero. Liquid are taking a little bit of time on this. When you see this much investment, it's because they're going to have their next two just kind of lined up without any real thought to what Nigma's pick is. Basically a hard commitment to what you want to do. Right now, they could do with some stuns. They don't really have reliable stuns. You could see something along the lines of... I'm going to go for a beast. I would like some, like I said, I would like something that's complementary for the Grim Stroke, but isn't forced by it. Centaur is always like a safe option, but not with the puck in the pool now. Just because the Dream Coil counters to you whenever you're trying to escape.
What'll it be?
I think you want a frontliner. You want something strong and bulky. As right now, your Void Spirit like struggles. If he's going to get hit with the Dream Coil, he can't escape. Alright, so we'll actually lock in the other support instead at the moment. It's a nice little counter buffer, right? Like if you're up against this Shaker Puck, you're looking at Nigma, they're kind of stacking up hard. Now the Willow can reset with the Terrorize to force you away from the fight unwillingly. It also stops any cute combo potential that Nigma could be looking at, right? Where you could go for maybe this kind of Willow plus Puck, just force the Core Snap. Because right now, Nigma don't actually have a way of forcing Core Snap. This could also be Team Liquid's setting up for a bully type lane. Usually the go-to would be something like Slardar, but they were actually the ones who banned that out themselves. I also kind of like that people have moved away from this idea of Grimstroke in the 4 as much. I think he just fits naturally as a 5, and now he has an even bigger advantage against other 5s. Because I'd say he was affected less by the GPM talent loss, as he has a means to shove out lanes and farm low. And okay, so Nigma, instead of focusing on ways that they can snap a call and force people away from a fight, they're going to make sure you're trapped inside it. This does still give a giant target to the Willow, by the way. You see Arena, you throw Terrorize. But at the same time, you're still going to be locked in, or your teammates can be locked in. So
10 seconds.
I do like that we've got 2 drafts that are looking towards these big kind of wham bam fanky mam type team fights right now, though. It's kind of a nice refreshing thing after we saw some teams in the qualifiers, the major, really fixate this idea of like split pushing. Pickoffs is fine, but split pushing lineups is really hard to achieve right now. The only reason things like that have a lot of split pushing potential like puck work is because of their team fight elements and their lane dominance. I think if you draft, let's say you go like the extremes, right? Like you're a Bat Rider, you're a Nature's Prophet, these type of heroes. Like you have to severely outplay your opponents to make it work. And even then it's more about your gank rotations than your split push potential. I'm sure Old Alliance will be sad to hear that just ratting back and forth side to side on the map is not the way you do it right now. We still need to see some frontline from Liquid, by the way. They're sorely lacking. I'm surprised that Slardar got banned by them in the first phase, because I just look at it every time like it would have been perfect. Okay, that's one way to do it. Another way to also force your opponents away from you, make sure they can't utilize the arena that much, is the Roar from Lone Druid. I wonder what he'll do in this type of game. Obviously, we'll see as the draft commences further, whether we'll see the classic Radiance build, or what I've kind of been liking, we've seen more and more of at the moment, is you go for the Mask of Madness into Deso type build. and you just demolish towers.
5 seconds remaining.
It'll definitely depend on the final pick. I expect Team Liquid to pick something a little bit zoomy, as in a little bit out of the lanes and straight into their faces. As I think these kind of like these slower paced carries are feeling bad right now. They're definitely dying off low. But they definitely would benefit more frontline as well still. Lone Druid can be a pseudo frontliner courtesy of his ultimate is a ridiculous amount of HP. But the way that most Lone Druids still play this hero is they try and stay as far away from the firing squad as possible. As for Nigma, they have decent stun lockdown. I would like to see a right clicker coming out. They don't have final pick, so probably pick it now before you get to a stage where something very golden could get locked out of your draft.
Radiant's turn to ban.
Or you just go for the... Okay, so this is going to be Mars mid. We has been practicing this a lot in pub games. I've seen this a lot from him. It seems a lot of players right now are fixated on this as a mid hero. I kind of agree. I think like the pass spikes match it. The tempo control is good. Then again, we can't ever rule out... Nah, no. I'm not gonna lead you down that path. There won't be a Dark Seer in the 5, or will there? I mean, actually, like, I'm looking at this right now. Are they running... They're not running Puck 5, right? Puck or Dark Seer 5, or they could be going for a final support. I don't think you run Mars as a 1 here, though. I mean, there's potential there. Same reason why it is in mid, right? You get a Deso and you just kind of go fight.
5 seconds remaining.
But then I think that leaves your lanes kind of a little bit lacking. Definitely, you got a little bit of brawl, but I think you're lacking on like the save elements.
Dyer's turn to pick.
Yeah, there should be a support. Mars carry. I mean, it's one of those ones that they're doing this because they have a very clear idea of what they want to do. It's not the gotcha factor that we've become accustomed to because they know they don't have the final pick. So like Liquid's going to understand what their lanes are doing before Liquid makes their final pick. And there you go. Yeah, it's the Medusa. So yeah, we are going to probably see... I'm going to say it's the support Puck and Dark Seer off lane. It should be mind control here. I feel like it's been a while since we've seen Puck 5ing. We've seen plenty of it 4ing and 2ing and 3ing at the moment. There was a better way of saying that the more I said the numbers. But 5 seems to have fallen off. And the anti-mage straight away from Liquid. Like, okay, you want to play the Medusa game? Let's go for it. I think the concern I see here is, are you over fixating on the idea of Medusa being countered by anti-mage? Just merely because we've seen the way that these Medusas can flex instead of making it about their mana pool, they just make it about their raw damage. And we've seen before that Miracle's not afraid to rush a rapier. I'm trying to decide who I like feel got the better side of the draft here. I'm not gonna lie, actually, the double Mana Void combo with a Medusa lineup does sound scary as all hell. But it's the only hero that's gonna have a big mana pool, right? So you get the double kind of wave overlap pop, which could be really lethal. But as I said, I don't think you're gonna see much in the way of stats being built on Miracle. It's gonna be more about your raw damage output. I will admit that it's a bit more scary, a little bit more risky in this type of game, just because you don't have a save like an Oracle or Lich, something to reduce the damage incoming. I am especially excited to see what Boxy can do on this off lane Void Spirit though. But here we go, guys. Game number 2 between the sides of Nigma and Team Liquid. Team Liquid 1 game up. Nigma, they look to throw a curveball for a moment. But Liquid, they do bounce back with that farm pick being the classic counter to the Medusa. But I can't stress it enough. The way that these heroes match up has... While it hasn't at its heart changed, the item builds have really changed the dynamic of the game. You have to keep in mind that an anti-mage is still going to go and farm the Battle Fury. It's just a given. I think the problem with anti-mage is he still feels like he doesn't really have a choice. It's almost like you were born to build that item. Whereas the Medusa, we've seen them move away from, you know, they had this flexibility between just going hard in the damage versus into the mana. And what you might just see is this fixation on building into hard damage, then kind of supplementing it with stats resistance, which wouldn't be bad against the Cursed Crowns, the Aether Remnants, and the lockdown the box he's likely to build.
30 seconds to battle.
It's going to be interesting to see the trade between the two supports in this lane as well, right? Because you've got the Puck versus the Willow. Both have a way of eluding damage. And the right-click power should be offset somewhat by the pulse that Boxy has access to, just to absorb all his right-clicks up.
Cast off the lines.
As I said, we will get that Mars mid. Nothing out of the ordinary on the start. You do just go for the bot rush. It's all about being able to spam spears and the rebuke so that you can... What? Okay. You know what? I just wanted to tell you guys about why the bot was getting rushed, and Medusa is caught out somewhere that honestly I think Miracle has no place being. I mean, he did get the rune. I'll give him credit for that. But to get and this is the thing, like, Boxy didn't level into the Remnant. I did double check that. I'm pretty sure he didn't take Remnant. He took the Resonant Pulse. So they went for a trade warfare and they just lost outright. That is a bold maneuver from Nigma. I will say that much. Tiger is trading to the maximum. Yeah, there you go. Kuro does go for the sniper of the courier. I mean, Tiger could die here, but Kuro's a little bit reluctant. It's just the right-click animation of Tiger, right? Willow's right-click animation is pretty absurd, and they have similar base damage. It's the type of fight that even if you win, you'll instantly die afterwards. Although the Lone Druid is dominating with the mid lane. Well, he's not really getting much. I mean, sure, he's got this creep wave that's pushed in, but... he won't get the range now. Okay, so he'll leave it up a little bit. But still, clear lead already for Qualifier. And bot lane, it'll just be the pull-through shenanigans, which Insania can't really do much to contest. He already leveled the Ink Swell. Anti-mage, a hero that has definitely got enough tangos on him to tank up all these creeps. And a hero that probably won't complain too much about being left alone. And Darkseer can't play the lane anyway. He has to do this. Otherwise, he just loses all his mana instantly and then loses the lane. There you go. Now, mind control, he should just surge away. He got the level 2. His hard time is gone. All right, his watch is not over, but he's definitely past the hard boot camp training. You know what, guys? I think the more I look at this game, the more I feel like it's actually going to be a long one. So let me just get the appropriate. Oh, wait, no, I better. Can I just, like, unclick that can? Because Miracle is getting pulverized again. It's actually hilarious how quickly they just get on top of him and melt through his mana and life. He's also always holding the clutch mango to try and ensure that that doesn't happen, and he'd go full mount mode, but after he died on the runes, I wouldn't rule anything out in this lane anymore. I felt as if it was an advantage lane for Void Spirit, but this is just absurd. And it will try and pop him. Not quite though, because he did eat the mango, but now Miracle has nothing left. Say nothing to live for as well at this rate, as you're down to 9 CS. It's already 13-5. Boxy's getting the denies in. In which case, if you're a Nigma fan, you're looking for an advantage in other lanes. And I look at mid because I see Mars health and I'm straight away back in the top. This is the thing, like, I'm looking at both of these lanes and these alternative lanes, and I'm not seeing the play. Animage is going to free farm. In fact, Animage could just maybe kill heroes like this. Now, they're out of mana, but that means they're out of any aggression. So Mike's going to free farm. Qualifier is going to free farm. Miracle is not going to farm. Boxy is going to free farm hero. That's the state of this game right now. Nigma are going to have to get a stage where they have to make some sort of rotational play. And fissures onto mid are hard. Okay, there you go. All right, we outplays. Qualifier. He didn't look that right, but looks of it, I think the roar got used at the wrong moment. Yeah, I think he used it quite early, and that's when we capitalized. So that's where you can get your kills. All right, suddenly an upside for the side of Nigma. And the good thing is that out of all the lanes that could get kills, this is probably the best one that could get a lead, because this is a mid that can actually rotate and make active plays off the back of his ult. If you think of Darkseer and Shaco, who's going to die in the bot lane, like Shaco can enable if he's not dying. Darkseer doesn't really make plays early on, and Medusa doesn't really make plays ever unless you buy a Rapier. And with this rough start for Miracle, that's not going to be the case anytime soon. Moving top. Chase in. Hero dead. Miracle will be chased onto as well. They don't have the Aether Remnant anymore, but they'll just make sure he doesn't feel comfortable in his own lane. And Insania won't be threatened here at all. This is just space. Like, no pressure on Nikke. Great. Although, ooh, nice pick. Okay, that is the new Surge. Screw him with what the AIMS feels about the lane. Because, like, anti-mage traditionally doesn't care about this lane at all, right? I don't think Insania wants to talk about that one. That's a bit rough. So yeah, to the point, like, anti-mage, you usually have a feel of this lane. You're not threatened by the Darkseer component in any way for quite a while. But now with the new Surge just being maxed out on that 7% speed straight away, all of a sudden, this Shaker can just rush out from the tree line and ruin your day. I think Nikke is going to have to be very careful about what sort of HP level he's sitting at, which is going to be rough when he keeps tanking the creep waves like this. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. But I think the big thing for Liquid, like the lane they'll probably pivot off is going to be this top lane. It's just a matter of which point Void Spirit rotates. I'd expect maybe like level 8 he could try and rotate after he gets another kill into Miracle. Because once he reaches 6, like, they could very easily kill the Medusa. Or even sooner. I mean, I guess I made the point of very easily, but they're making this kind of look easy. They won't be able to find the kill, but they burn them down. And meanwhile, in the bot lane, oh, that's not just a kill, that's a courier. An anti-mage courier as well. The hero that wants gold as much as you can get early on, being starved of gold a little bit. At least he's keeping the CS up there. 31-10 right now, but Mind Control's getting some in now. 19-0. There you go. Now Medusa's out of mana. He died pretty quick. The Mango might keep him alive long enough, but if Boxy moves right, looks like Tiger will dodge out the damage, and Miracle's just going to go down. Tiger gets away with it because Kuroki had to retreat. As I say that, there will be another kill. This time in the mid lane, actually, as he finds the DD and he finds the kill on the Insane who was rotating. He at least tanks it for Qualifier, but they're going to have to address the Mars soon. And the way you do that is definitely going to be off the back of a Boxy rotation as time goes on. Kuro, by the way, is getting roughed up to hell. He's dead. They just love this hero. They just love the fact that he just kind of plants a little bomb on you as he cuts free. Pretty good fun. For him, not for the person being, you know, injected with an explosive. Mini void explosive. I think if he just actually keeps full mana as well, no one can come in this lane. You can already see Miracles spawn back to jungle. He realizes like laning is done for him and there's no possible way he can be there anymore. Kuro just has to try and sap XP. Occasionally you'll get CS, but the problem is you're a squishy hero. You're relying on elusiveness, and if you get caught out by a remnant at any point, you're going to lose half your HP straight away. And as I talk about that, Shaker in the bot lane will go down. Mind Control will die as well. He's out of mana. He didn't have... Oh, you saw it mid-animation. He had the mana for the Surge, but he got tapped once too many. That mana burn is a little bit too overwhelming with 3 points in. Kuro, he'll move away. Boxy can't quite get him as he already used the steps. I like that Boxy's just more or less using his Astral Step as a harassment tool, though, because he realizes there's no gank potential at him anytime soon. So he's just making sure that there's no way they can try and convert Kuro into a core by keeping him on low HP at all times. Meanwhile, Insania just going in for the deep wards. He wants to keep vision on the Medusa. This is the thing that Liquid were really, really good at in game one, is they understood their timings and how to convert vision across the map, right? They understood that after they pivoted advantage in the lane, and I believe it was Boxy in that game that done that as well. There's a fallback plan in mind. There's somewhere Miracle has to go, and it's the primary jungles, so they just get down deep wards to ensure that they're ready to rotate immediately as soon as that starts happening. You can actually already see it now. They're coming across. Miracle doesn't know about this either. He should, because Boxy walked past the ward in the lane, I think, or he just flipped to the side and missed it. Miracle's dead. He's gonna try and help, but this, you could dissimulate or step. Either one works. We now is start holding his spear in his hands, looking a bit awkward. Boxy gets a little bit greedy though. It should just be a back away, and as that happens, there will be a kill in the bot lane. Tiger's brought down. Just looking across at Mike, asking for help, knowing he'll never get it. Let's go chase it, Kira. Oh no. Alright, Kuro's just dead. Boxy will die for this read, maybe, or not. We doesn't have the damage to simulate out up to the high ground. Peace. I mean, it looked like he might get the kill, but not enough damage. The pulse was strong enough. The hero is reasonable. I like that little remnant as well. Actually, bought enough time that Sadie gets the room without losing his life for it. It's these small things that add up. My Voice Spirit is such a vicious hero as well.
They're trying to bring down Radiant's top tower.
Like Voice Spirit kind of reminds you right now. The stat hero reminds you of your kind of fragile days when you start playing Nerf the first time, where you make one small mistake, you wouldn't fully understand it, and you just be destroyed because of it. They are rotating bot, by the way. BK is the one that go first. Their mind control's on, and they thought they could actually get here in time. Instead, Kuro now needs to run as Boxy is on the hunt. He'll get out. GH will be harassed pretty heavily. He should be able to make his escape. Well, they do have a remnant play. They will throw it out. It does connect. He read him like a book. Damage being done. They won't even be able to actually hurt him because of the pulse, and he'll just back off. But it's a 2-on-1 situation, and you just can't turn around against him at any point. Move the forward of the way. Nicely done. He spears, but he doesn't turn around to actually face it. And as a result, he takes too much damage. He'll go down. Tower might fall at this rate because Boxy's zoning away. This is actually just so fluid from Liquid. Like, this AM pick is working perfectly because the Medusa, I mean, it's a hero that can't do anything anyway. It's just going to farm for a while. He got crushed on the lane. It's not ready to even defend towers at this stage. And you can already see it. The tier 1 just gets milled, and they move straight into the Ooh. If he gets rooted once, I think he might just, yeah, Miracle's dead. There's actually no way he survives this. Despite the best efforts of Nigma. And this coil is, I think the word is adorable we're looking for. It won't achieve anything. GH will go for the Echo Slam, but now there's the turnaround. Arena goes down, pinned to the ground. Pop's gonna be killed though. And there's that terrorize we were talking about. They're just too goddamn tanky and Qualifier. All they had to do is press true form. His true form was unkillable. We'll turn around, stunned up. He's ready to hold his ground, but it won't matter with the Bedlam, with the damage coming out. Boxy gets the double kill, and Nigma are crumbling again. And I say again because this was a similar fashion in game 1. They lost the lanes. It did not look good. They have bounce back, they come back potential right though. We saw the way that they can initiate their draft later on. My concern is in this game, it's a Medusa. It's the same issue you run into when you draft a Naga. You're still going to need like 20 minutes. Whereas, you know, in that last game, it's like, what were you recovering for? Okay, we're recovering for a 5-man scenario where we can actually be active. Not as much the case in this game. This might just be it's going to be smoke maneuver. I mean, they got smoke, but I don't... No, they go for the easy kill. I was about to say, I don't see the move. Like, the Medusa's not going to be involved. 3 heroes maybe. You might as well just go for the lane, though. But you can already see Insane knows something is wrong.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Radiant think fortification can save them.
And things will just calm down. And you know who that benefits? Liquid for the moment. I already mentioned this anti-mage, but look at this. As I said, Qualifier would probably be going for that death, so definitely when you have a farm here in the game, you don't go for the Radiance. Very cool. This is the only kill they can get on the map right now. It's not the wrong move, and they bring the appropriate number of heroes, to be honest. It's a bit dicey if you don't bring that many heroes. it feels bad that you have to invest that many resources into a kill on a 5, but when you are behind like this, it at least converts into a tower because you realize how aggressive Liquid are playing. Like, they just want your jungle. So forfeit that, play their jungle, recover.
Top tower is about to take the plunge.
Only problem is whether Boxy lets you, because this is the type of hero that will try and just punish you. And there's the Yules, there's the Remnant, and soon to not be Kuroki. He didn't wait to rift up, actually. Like Medusa scared off Willow. Willow was moving across, but Tiger decided to back away, so Buck does get out alive.
Is under attack.
And they might try and actually punish this now. Moving in. I think they want Insania. If Insania's hanging there again, that's another kill. But that is now the Battle Fury complete. So Mike gets it at a good timing. He's going to accelerate his farm further. It's going to get pretty scary from here on out. Your Medusa is already suffering. She has less net worth than all the cores on the side of Liquid. Right now, your only hope is that we can make some big plays. And he's going for the Deso. You can maybe kill some people off. I think you're focusing supports with that Deso pickup. That's where you are going to find kills. Boxy is still going to be really hard to lock down. It's too elusive. It's tough. But with the right combo, you could hit Spear. But then, if you're looking at Qualifier, you shouldn't ever be killing Qualifier. Like, in the time it takes you to get that arena up, he should be able to just press True Form. And then he is a 2.5k HP hero. Or as we like to call them, a thick boy. Or thick bear. Arena. Tiger will be pinned, but isn't hittable right now. And we control by the 8th Remnant. The Venom comes out, and Tiger says, if I'm going to the grave, you'll come and win me. But nice reinforcements come out from Nigma. Dream Call to stop them chasing right now. The buyback's going to be there. They see the fight happening. Mind Control goes too deep, and he will die for it. The rest are looking to escape, but the Yule's going to come out. They see the big target again. They want the Medusa. Miracle has no mana to work with, and it's just melting to the damage. Will be left behind. Nigma, they thought about re-engaging for a second, but then they went, what do we have? We got this Blink on Shaker, but it's a level 1 Echo Slam. Have we got Arena? No. Have we got Dream Call? No. So much has to be expended in these situations, in these scenarios, just to get small pickoffs on supports to the side of Nigma, that it frees up Liquid to do what they want. And what they want right now is an Aegis. This is starting to stack up to look like it could very easily be a 2-0 unless Nigma pulls someone out the bag soon. You've got the Deso. This is your big play. You can't let them get this first Aegis because it just accelerates their control too much. You have the Echo Slam. You have Dream Call in 10. Foxy's waiting though. And we is distracted on the side. As a result, he might not be in position. And they chase forward. They're going to Darkseer's going to be straight. Buyback comes out from Grimstroke after he dies. So Insania's back in the fight. They will keep Darkseer up for the moment, but maybe not for long. Dream Call comes out on the Void Spirit, but no one's helping. Now the movement in with the Stone Gaze. Sidestep, terrorized, chase away though. And Boxy's going to live. And all of a sudden, Darkseer's the one that's dead. Nigma are numbers justified. They've got the arena, but they don't want to use it yet. So the Curse Crown's going to come out and try and force it out of them. And they won't need to. They get rid of the mask. He's down and dead on the side. And Miracle will just have to back up. They will go back to the pit, uninterrupted. And I don't see any buyback from Mars. So there's no way you can really contest this anymore. You don't have the damage or the lockdown. But they might just try for a cheeky steal, even if it costs the Echo Slam. GH moving in. Won't get a chance to blink, though, because he's controlled up by the Bear and the Void Spirit. And there's the Yules to make sure he isn't leaving, but in anything but a body bag. All right, Kuro, this is the cheeky steal attempt. Nope. Nope. Ain't happening. Read him like a book for 4-year-olds. And as a result, they get the Aegis on Boxy. I love the fact that they actually put it on him, right? Because your anti-mage, if you give him the Aegis, it's a farming Aegis. You don't want that right now. You have a lead and you want to push it. If you give it a Lone Druid, why? Quakefoot will never die. If he's dying, it's because the rest of his team has abandoned him or they're dead already. In which case, they've kind of abandoned him from life if you want to be poetic. So it's just Boxy, who wants to go deep, who almost died there, right? If it wasn't for the clutch save coming out from Tiger.
Dire's top tower.
I don't think we want to talk about that. We do not want to talk about that either. We will look away from that and we will focus on other things in the game. Like the fact that Nigma, once they have Arena off cooldown, okay, we did look at that again. Once it's off cooldown, there is a play that can be made, right? Like we have got this big combo them to them out where you've got the Echo Slam, you've got the Arena. Coil can be snapped with a good vacuum as well from Mind Control, who really needs to start leveling that up soon, buddy. So I think that Nigma, the big thing in the next few minutes is get XP on Darkseer more than anything else. Your Medusa isn't going to give you anything for another 10 minutes. Even with this Butterfly Rush, you still die too fast. And so does Kuroki. And playing Puck into Void Spirit is so rough. Like, on the lane, you are decent against him, right? Like, you get your CS, you don't get interrupted by him too much, you win the harassment trade a little bit. But once you leave laning phase, once he gets his first time, once he gets that Yules, your game is over. I think it's like one of the most punishing heroes for Puck to play against right now. And the punishment continues. Tanky hero this time, but they'll just wait out until the stun comes out and they'll come to the arena willingly. You want battle participants, and here they are. It's a little bit unfair in a 2-on-1 gladiatorial, but they did have the HP advantage until they took it away. Until they stole all that HP out. And they're not done. More aggression. It's just rinse and repeat across the map. Same combo over and over again. Yules into whatever's way. Whether you got the Remnant, whether you got a bear that's looking pretty hungry because it hasn't been fed in a week, or even you just got the Bramble Mazes. It's always a big advantage when you have a team that can actually utilize Willow well, right? It's like, it's one of those heroes we always talk about as a very unique ball playmaker and very brutal to deal with, like individual pick-off potential, plays well, syncs up with a lot of offlaners, things like Slardars, with the Void Spirits now as well. And that's a potential double Yules build situation, which is what is going to happen, right? So it's like, Yules. Oh, they come down, they're Remnant. Yules. Oh, they come down, the Cursed Crown. Oh, then there's a root. It's like, it's just ridiculous CC. And actually, it's so great in this game because there's only one hero on the side of Nigma likely to be able to beat KB. And he's involved in this smoke movement right now. Oh, gee! That was the Echo Slam. The stun on a Boxy, but they don't want that target. And Quake will be able to move the bear away. Everything's been wasted, and now he will burn his life. You have to pay for your failures in life. He'll go down, they'll at least kill off the bear, but the Soulbite is slowing them down. The double Cursed Crown is cute, but they're too far away. You at least got 300 gold for the bear, but the damage done to your morale might be higher if you're Nigma. And Mike, I mean, he's feeling control here. He's going towards that Basher. He's going to have it very soon. That's when he can start just getting seriously involved in these fights. Right now, he's kind of Shivantly walking in from time to time, checking what's up. As soon as he's going to get out of control, and he's completely controlled. They'll surge him, but it will not get him out. He's dead. That stun lasts way too long. Mind Control can't save the day. I don't think this pipe's going to save the day either. They need, if anything, they need a force stuff. They need some sort of escape plan, which is insane to say the team, which should have the means to lock other opponents rather in, right? Like you've got Dream Core, you've got the Arena, you've got the Echo Slam, you got the Vacuum. They should be the ones running from you. They should be the ones who need to elude you, but they naturally already have that, right? With the Anti-Mage, the Void Spirit, the Dark Willow, the Control that comes out from the Lone Druid to force people away. Chase in, heals, and there's a root playing the Remnant as well. The Terrorize comes out, and Miracle's mana has basically got him 3 hits, and he's gone alongside it. On the side, Manabo will bring down a kill of GH, and this is just brutality now. 15,000 net worth lead. You know, people tuning into this game at this point will be wondering how Nigma even got 9 kills on the board, is what I'll say, because this is just looking like, well, Liquid are turning Nigma to Liquid. They've shoved them into a blender and have churned them into a very, very tasty smoothie, which they are consuming. Albeit with a little bit of cement in the mix, as they are hitting onto the buildings pretty hard. And that's the beauty of this Deso. Demolishing bear. The double bear power, if you like. Papa and Mama. This Arena. It's just, I think, is it meant for their protection or whoever's out of the protection? It's like a prison, right? To protect people outside. But now they're going to try and do something. But the Soulbite comes out. They still haven't killed Voice for it. He can just get away. Essence Ring didn't even need to rush to simulate. Qualifier will give over the bear. It's almost like charity at this point. And they'll just get away. I'm pretty sure we're going to start calling these arenas prison arenas. They are not meant to protect, like they're meant to protect you from the prisoners in this situation, right? Like it has to be that, because the way these fights are going right now, the only way that Liquid is going to lose them is if they turn on each other. How would that happen anyway? I mean, in prison, it's kind of like, what, someone stole someone's waffles or cigarettes. I guess, I mean, Boxy, he likes to sleep, apparently. I mean, maybe, like, Iger steals his very nice pillows, and that causes a little bit of a kerfuffle. But for real, if you're looking at what Nigma can actually do in this game, they won't have a veil. The blink isn't going to change much for Puck right now. It's just kind of need the item to survive. Your build's not going to survive against anti-mage, and neither is GH. GH has just found out. Medusa is not going to be ready until next game. I mean, this Divine Rapier is your all in. If it doesn't work, you're done. That's usually the way Divine Rapier works when you rush it on any hero at this stage, but I think still dies before he gets value out of this Rapier, even if he picks it up in a fight. Like, they have to protect him. And remember the thing we talked about, right, is that you have no save. You have no dispel. So if Miracle gets stunned up, you lose the game. I am seeing slight problems here. Like this, don't get me wrong, this Divine Rapier is not the wrong move. If this isn't your next item pickup, you're out of this game because you aren't doing anything. But I almost just see them putting an arena down to keep Medusa safe. Like, she runs in, stone gazes, and they just arena her to like a secluded side of the fight so not all the members of Liquid can reach her. But even then, even if you do that, you are against an anti-mage who can just blink in or has Abyssal anyway, a Void Spirit who can get in if he wants to, a Willow who can force you out. I think the elusive factor here is actually going to make it painful. Like, one of the things that's made Rapier so good in conjunction with Medusa is like this item feels like you want it on this type of hero, right? It's always been the classic late game scenario. The True Strike has made it valid earlier on, but also like in conjunction with Medusa's new Stone Gaze, the ability to rush forward and find people is great. The problem in this type of game is it's very hard to rush forward if, one, you are running away. You're just going to run away quicker with Stone Gaze, even with Surge especially. Or two, you suddenly turn into a dog on a leash, right? Where, like, if you get soul binded to, let's say, Shaker and he's immobile at that point, you're not moving. Kuro is only moving over to the sideline for 30 seconds. DK, oh god, we should dead. Or is he? Surge out, nice mech, will be enough. If he didn't have that mech, that would have been a pop. And this will be the wake-up moment where he's like, okay, I need to find some sort of farm without taking away from our Medusa, who is our win condition, to finish this BKB without dying. If I die once, we're in trouble. Because if I have to buy back, it's over. Especially if this is a quick roche spawn, actually, for the side of Liquid, then Nigma may be out of time. And the gods don't favor Nigma necessarily. This is a 30-second window. You're not going to get the gold for the Rapier. Depending on how quickly Liquid goes to the pit, you might get the Rapier before they come to your base with an Aegis. Oh god. A moment of respect for the fairy dragon that once was, and the Shaker who's shaking himself to an early grave. Probably shaking his fist actually at the side of Liquid right now as they're just decimating the side of Nigma. It feels really rough as well. Like, you look at these two supports that Nigma have. They are playmaking supports. You want to be able to go and do something. But a combination of how your laning phase went and your cause make it very hard to do, right? Like a Darkseer, he wants to be that supplement on the side. He's not going to be your follow through. And your Medusa is just always going to be begging for more time. But she almost has enough, and she should be able to get enough for a Rapier. That'll be their big play. They can't afford to lose We said this. And he went there. Oh! That remnant. It was so close. I think Boxy was just out of range for the Yules. He didn't want to use another step forward. And it looked like the Resonant... It looked like the Aether would reach in time, but the Revenant didn't. Oh, that's so painful. Definitely not for we, though. Although after checking his pulse, he'll be very grateful that he's this close to the BKB. This is what we see from the bigger teams, the more skilled and in-sync teams, is this double stack of big items. And this is two of the biggest you're going to get in this game. The BKB on the Mars and the Rapier on the Medusa, and they smoke and go. Wait around the side of Liquid to come to them. They need to leverage a kill into Roche themselves to completely mitigate, basically, the risk of having this Rapier. But Tiger, oh no, terrorize. Soulbind, turn in, straight away they get caught a little bit too hard. Puck is going to get low, be brought down. The side chick is already gone. The Mars Arena's going to go down, but Medusa stunned up the whole wall. He hasn't even right-clicked once yet. So Gaze goes to fight. Anti-Mage out of mana. He will pay the price for this and be brought down, but the looks of it, he'll snap the call and die. They find the biggest kill they can, and that is the dead AM for 95 seconds. And it was so close to completely backfiring for the side of Nigma. Whew. You could feel the tension in that moment. Miracle almost dead at that point. The Abyssal lockdown, the constant stuns coming out, but Liquid were not stacked hard enough to be able to punish that. It was a good attempt, though. I will give them credit where the credit is due. That was Tiger making the best of what looked like a failed blink up the high ground. Maybe that was his clutch plan all along, as they did have this ward vision, but Liquid were a little bit split. Nonetheless, Nigma do fantastic to capitalize on that. Now they need some chill time. The anti-mage kill is big, but they no longer have anything to really leverage to go into the pit. They needed AM plus either Void Spirit or Lone Druid. I think they knew that that wasn't feasible, though. Like, if they get those two in the same fight together, they'd probably die. They, as in, because we saw how close it was when it was basically just the anti-mage wailing away at Miracle. But this is, I mean, this is a little bit of fresh air, right? This is Nigma coming out of the basement after living there for 5 years. They're discovering the world is fresh and anew. Subway is starting to become less popular. There's a fresh new coffee shop on the corner of the pagoda, and they can finally enjoy life. Except Kuro. Kuro doesn't. I think Kuro might be dead. It's gonna be close. He has got the waning rift, but he has no phase shift. I think Kuro is bye-bye. I mean, let's be honest anyway, guys. Fairy dragons aren't real. I'm sorry to be the one to burden you with this news. I'm sure, like, you know, after Santa Claus has been explained in different ways to you guys, I come in and I'm like, well, even though Santa Claus is real, guys, dragons, there's no proof other than Komodo dragons. But fairy dragons, they're a whole new. Sorry, I'm just getting. I'm in awe of the pretty particle effects right now. There's so much going on here, actually. Inkswell, you've got the resonant pulse, right, from his bubble. Then there's bramble mazes. There's, I don't think there's a, yeah, there's some sort of residual effect on the puck. I don't think we've heard. Oh yeah. Yeah, just a little bit of connection issues, and then we'll be ready to go underway. Looking beyond the prettiness of Dota, though, is their turn potential. I think if you're Nigma, you can't run right now. It's too risky to bring Miracle up here, because if he doesn't win the fight in 2 seconds, Lone Druid will reach the fight before Mars does, by a vast margin, and you'll still lose. You're gonna still lose Kuro. See, Kuro could go for a Dream Call onto maybe 2. I don't think so, though. I think it's just a little bit too out of range, the 2 split. So Kuro can't do anything. He can just, the best thing he can do for his team is he can coil Boxy and then just tell him to run away, right? Become the Boromir. Be Sean Beam right now. Look at Frodo and say run. And I know there's plenty of people in chat right now like, no, you can go for an Echo Slam play. Just wait for the stack. All right, this is your desire to be a TI winning Echo Slam coming into effect. You do not do enough. If you blink in, your Medusa's not in position. She'll shoot from low ground, maybe miss. Come on, well, actually no, true strike, right? So even then, though, yeah, it's too discombobulated. Hopefully we get this sorted. It'd be a shame to start the minor qualifiers like this. I guess people will then have their a discussion about whether they'd like to see things like regionals on lands. I know there's that big discussion going around about the league system that might occur next season. It'd be nice to see some regular Dota week in, week out. Be pretty cool if we saw maybe kind of a return to studio casting through that, because people could justify hiring in studio casters. I personally still love the idea of on-land regional qualifiers.
That is too good.
Similar to what we had, or have, I think, still with a few tournaments in Dota where they'll run them out of, I think, for example, me and Lizzie, we were doing WCG last year. We'd done it from Athens. All the teams were flown out for that. And I believe they actually got some prize money as well. I would at least like to see that. I think these teams deserve a little bit of Skrilla, a little bit of Dosh.
Just what I
You still have to come through open qualifiers, you know, and if you're like, depending on your ranking, you still have to beat very skilled players. And it's just another way we could actually be supporting. Look, guys, look, I know Liquid's got money, guys. Can you stop laughing at me, okay? I'm trying to help the small boys here. Yeah, like these smaller teams that suffer to make ends meet, who maybe aren't getting a wage from teams who don't even have a sponsor necessarily. Gives them a way to play the game. Like if they're good enough to actually be in those qualifiers, there's some potential there. The potential of an Echo Slam opportunity, but there you go, they won't. Hero does actually get away as well. They didn't want to chase it. I think they saw the reinforcements nearby. Yeah, this would. So there would have been a long debate from Liquid on whether it was worthwhile killing Kuro there. You could have, but it's a puck. It's a puck that the only impact this puck can really have is will Dream Core. And or Kuro will definitely Dream Core beforehand. I think they can still take a fight. It's just why take the risk? GH blink forward. Quick foot, Inkswell on the bear. They'll just use it to deward. Oh my god, bears are so bad at dewarding. One. You know, if he had Mask of Manus ready there, he might have got the D-ward instead of letting the deny go the way of Kuro. Probably one of those things you're not even thinking, like you're probably just sitting there looking at it and going, why does my bear do this so slow, but it's allowed to get bounty runes? Because Ice Frog deems it so. Balance in all things. As Nigma will try and bring a closer balance to the net worth of this smoke.
Dire are scanning for enemies.
And they are going for the axe. I like that Mars doing this. We need to be able to sustain in these fights and just like needs as much frustration as possible. Okay. Just calibrate the buttons. But I think you just surrender Broach because of that. And yeah, Nigma knows it straight away. They're like, yep, that was...
Radiant's middle tower can't handle
You can feel it by the way they backed up. They knew exactly what was about to happen off that Dream Core.
Time to move.
Which they know they've done in Vision of Liquid, as there was a creep wave there. And straight away they eye up the Medusa. Of course they do. Like, if you want to bring down Nigma, all right, you take out the body. And right now, this Medusa, she's mind, body, and soul, this lineup. If she dies, it's just over. Unless Rapier. That is the if. All right, I'll give them conditionals here. Like Miracle, as long as he can retrieve that Rapier, because he does have buyback. And this is why like they'll just wait in the base, because then they have that advantage. You are playing against a choke point lineup, right? You've got this Shaker who can split the fight. You've got the Darkseer who can split the fight with the Wall to the Vacuums. Puck plays for Darkseer to fight. Puck every single one of Nigma's heroes says thumbs up to choke point. I'm not sure how you feel about Lone Druid being allowed 2 neutral items, considering our arguments about balance of neutral items. You're definitely going to hate it in your pub games, right? Like, because for a long time, for a support, especially playing Qualifier, it's like, when do I get access to items? When your hand-me-downs are done? And the change to one neutral item per person was a nice change. But then there's just Lone Druid hogging 2 once. So you're going to get to the nice tier 5 items, right? And you're already unlikely to ever get one as a POS 5. Now your POS 4 doesn't even get one either. Heartbreaking situation. I think also those changes did stimulate the desire, shall we say, to get your hands on the consumables more, like Royal Jelly, because it's just a bonus item. It never stops being used because you just get it on your heroes. I think one team... No, it was last game. Last game, team got Royal Jelly. Yeah, they already know. You can see we was like, nah, there's someone up there. But now the Abyss will jump in straight away. The Medusa, the Terrorize will scare away. Medusa needs some help right now. But Medosi's gone down. Dead for 80 seconds. And the Rena's going to go down. They're trying to actually retrieve that Rapier and move away. But they're all bound together. BKB Mars stands his ground, but no Arena anymore. They're going to lose Darkseer as well. And it looks like this is the fight that broke the horse's back as Nigma crumble 1 by 1. The GG comes out. And after a long wait, Liquid pounce and take the easy cruise and 2-0 victory over the side of Nigma, forcing Nigma down into that lower bracket run. Not an unfamiliar place for Nigma to be. Definitely a long history of this team, dating back to their Team Liquid days of